And now our next story, The Trailer by Cindy A. When I was 14, my parents had been divorced for some time, and I lived with my mother. One weekend, I went to visit with my father, who lived in a trailer park outside of Phoenix, Arizona. The first day there, I was bored to tears, and my father could sense that there was little I could do to keep busy in this park. He got a call from a neighbor who were looking for a babysitter for that night and would be very late before they returned. My father knew the parents and thought I might want to make a little extra money while I was here and give me something else to do. I finally gave in when he promised that we could go out to dinner the next night. The trailer was up a hill at the edge of a cliff. It was quite a schlep just to get there. When I got to the trailer, it was beyond dilapidated. I mean, wow, this trailer was a dump. The two girls I was there to babysit were 6 and 8 years old. They were very sweet and easy to take care of. They mostly sat in the living room and watched an old tube television with rabbit ears. I went to the back of the trailer to use the restroom, but saw a light on in one of the bedrooms. Curiously, I walked into the room and was immediately startled by an old woman in her 80s who was sitting on a bench and staring out the window. Jesus scared the crap out of me. I didn't know there was anyone else at home. The old woman turned to look at me, but didn't say a word. She then turned back to look out the window. This old woman made me uneasy. There was something about her that just didn't sit right. Maybe it was the way she looked at me, so I slowly backed out of the room when she spoke. "You're not safe here." Looking around at the state of this trailer, I couldn't agree with her more. "I'm only here for the night, so I think I'll be okay," I said. I went back to the living room and asked the kids, "Where's that old lady, your grandmother?" "She showed up about a month ago, just ignore her. We do," the elder girl told me. So I tried just to focus on the kids. We played games and watched a movie and everything seemed fine. But then the old lady stirred and started acting strange. She came into the kitchen and would stare at the walls for long periods of time, muttering to herself. She would turn the lights on and off, and open and close various kitchen cabinet doors repeatedly. I tried to ask her if everything was okay, but she just dismissed me with a wave of her hand, as if to tell me to mind my own business. Later that night, the girls had gone to bed and I had nodded off on the sofa. Suddenly, I was violently shaken awake by this old lady. "It's not safe here," she screamed at me. Disoriented and scared to death, I sprung off the couch and was totally freaked out. I was fast asleep and was barely registering anything after having been so suddenly and unexpectedly woken up. "Huh? What are you talking about?" I said. Then I heard noises outside but couldn't make them out. I crept over to the door and my heart was pounding in my chest. But when I opened the door, there was no one there. But I kept hearing creaking and cracking noises that just seemed to get louder. I was starting to get really scared now. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I didn't want to stay there any longer. I turned to look back inside the trailer, only to see the old lady now had a very large kitchen knife in her hand. "You're not safe here." I screamed for the girls, who rushed out of their bedroom and joined me at the door. "Leave now," she said, her eyes wild as she raised the knife over her head. Well, that was it. I grabbed the girls, got out of there as fast as I could, and sprinted down the hill toward my father's trailer. The next morning, we all woke up to the sound of sirens and a flood of activity in the trailer park. It seems that the safety brakes and chocks keeping that trailer at the end of the hill in place had failed, and the trailer rolled off the cliff and was completely destroyed. The very same trailer I was in last night. I was approached by the police, who were looking for answers, and I told them about my experience and what had happened with the old lady. The trailer park manager, who was standing nearby, said no old woman lived in that unit. Well, at least not since a month ago. The old woman who owned the trailer had drowned in the nearby river over a month ago, and the family with the children had only just moved in. Needless to say, I never offered to babysit in that trailer park ever again.
There's only one thing that's even scarier than that story. That would be not watching another video like this one.